Quoting Job 28, Proverbs 1:20 through 33, 8:1 through 36, 9:1 through 6, and Baruch 3:9 through 4:4. Ben Sirach stated that wisdom shall praise herself and shall glorify herself in the midst of her people. She will open her mouth in the congregation of the Most High with triumph. It was from the time of Genesis 1:2 that wisdom came out of the mouth of the Most High, enthroned in her high places within a cloudy pillar. Wisdom compassed the circuit of heaven. She walked in the bottom of the deep, surrounding the nations of the earth. Over the deep and the multitude of humanity she ruled over, while looking for a place to reside. A reference to Psalm 132, verse 8 and 13 and 14. Wisdom was told by the Creator, who created her from the beginning before the world. A reference to Proverbs 8:23. Let your dwelling be in Jacob, and your inheritance be Israel. She served in the Holy Tabernacle and then established her home in Zion. He gave her rest and authority in Jerusalem, where she took root in the honorable people, a portion of the Lord's inheritance. It was in the tabernacle in Jerusalem where she was exalted like some of the prime lumber of the Levant above the water, a cedar of Lebanon, a cypress tree growing upon the mountains of Hermon, a palm tree in En-Gedi, a rose plant in Jericho, a fair olive tree in a pleasant field. It was in the same tabernacle and temple of Jerusalem where her aroma was of the holy incense. A reference to Exodus 37 and 34. Not only was she pungently fragrant, but she stretched out her branches of honor and grace like a turpentine tree. Referencing Proverbs 8:19, Ben Sirach said that amid her shade, wisdom was like a vine that brought forth a pleasant savor and fruit of honor and riches. Departing from the agricultural illusion, the scribe continued to personify wisdom, but this time as a woman and a mother, as an eternal mother of her children, the saints. She gives them fair love, righteous fear, knowledge, and holy hope. She calls upon human beings who are desirous of her to allow her to feed them her fruits. Those that submit to the call will continue to thirst and hunger for more, remembering her fruits to be sweeter than honey from the honeycomb. Furthermore, they will never be embarrassed and will avoid the temptation of sin. Within the book of the covenant of the Most High, Moses was told not only would the congregations of Jacob have a heritage, but as referenced in Exodus 19:1 and Deuteronomy 33:4, these gifts would be given to them as well. She extolled man to be strong in the Lord and cleave to him. For the Lord Almighty is God and Savior alone. As such, only He can confirm man. With His wisdom yields an effect upon man that is connected by comparing it to the prominent rivers of the region. His wisdom fills all of creation in the way that the Tigris floods in Nisan, and the way the Fison floods. This is a reference to Genesis 2:13. His wisdom makes the understanding to flood like Jordan and Sivan, and in the way the Euphrates floods. This is a reference to Joshua 3:15. His wisdom makes the doctrine of knowledge to appear as the light, just as the Gihon River appears during Tishri. This is a reference to Genesis 2:13. If you will recall that the Tigris, Pishon, Gihon, and Euphrates rivers were the four rivers which came out of the river flowing out of the Garden of Eden. No man has currently or never will have perfect wisdom. Not even Adam, who lived for an unknown time in the Garden of Eden, had perfect wisdom, as attested to by Jeremiah 2:8. Due to her possibilities are vaster than the sea, and her resources are more profound than the Tehom, or the great deep. Wisdom is personified as water in the form of the irrigation canal spoken of in Isaiah 58:11. Her brook became a river, a reference to Isaiah 11:9 and Ezekiel 47:1-12. And her river became a sea. As soon as such, she abundantly watered her best garden. Wisdom spoke that she would make doctrine shine far and wide. She also stated that she would pour out perpetual doctrine as prophecy. Ben Sirach in Sirach 24:34 wrote, "Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom."